Hello friends, welcome to all. Myself Vishal Jogidas. Today we will discuss about resistive technique for level measurement. So we are going to start new chapter of level measurement, and in that we will see particular resistive technique for level measurement, and this topic is covered in the subject of industrial instrumentation. Before starting this, we will see some introduction. Level measurement is one of the oldest methods. Liquid level measurements are widely used to monitor as well as measure quantitatively the liquid content in vessels, reservoirs, and tanks, or the liquid column height in open channel streams, and a variety of other cases in industrial processes. So there are so many applications of level measurement in so many industries. For example, in chemical industry there are so many level measurements are there. The level of liquids may affect both the pressure and the rate of flow in and out of the tank or vessel. Hence, the quality can be affected. In this chapter, different indirect methods of level measurement are discussed with their merits and demerits. So, we will see some indirect methods of level measurement. Now, what is level? The liquid level is expressed in terms of length of the liquid column, or in terms of the pressure the column exerts over the datum level. This is known as level. So there are two types of things are there. One is level of column. So liquid level of column is very easy, and in other terms we can use pressure. In terms of pressure the column exerts over a datum level. So this is level. Methods of level measurement. So there are two methods are generally used in industries for measuring liquid level. These are direct method and indirect method. Now, what is direct method? It is the What is direct method? This is the simplest method of measuring liquid level, where the level is measured directly by means of the following liquid level indicators. So in this direct method we are using different types of liquid level indicators, and through this we are directly measuring the level. So here give some examples are given. One is hook type level indicator, another one is sight glass level indicator, and next one is float type level indicator. So these are the direct methods for level measurement, and these three are the liquid level indicators. Now, what is indirect method? The different indirect methods of a liquid level measurement that are used in the industries are electrical methods and hydrostatic pressure type methods. So these methods are known as indirect methods. Now we are going to start with resistive type level indicator. And this method is of electrical type level indicator method. So for what is electrical methods? For industrial applications, it is designed to convert the liquid level position to an electrical signal. This is the requirement in industry, right? The measurement is done by two conversions so that the liquid level is indirectly determined, because there are two conversions, primary transducer and secondary transducers. The first conversion is liquid level to a displacement through a float in a liquid or a spring loaded plate in contact with the surface in case of granular solids. See, we are going to use these methods in some details. So we will see all these methods, electrical methods in details. Okay. The displacement is then converted to an electrical signal by a secondary transducer connected to float or plate. So in these indirect methods, we will use two transducers, primary transducer and secondary transducers. The electrical transducers used for level measurements are resistive, inductive and capacitive. So these three types of transducers are used for electrical methods of level measurement. So we will see all these three methods, but we will start with resistive type level indicator. So what is resistive type level indicator? This is an electrical method where the liquid level position is converted into an electrical signal. So that we have already explained. Now, principle of resistive type level indicator. What is the principle behind this? The float acts as a primary transducer that converts liquid level variation into a suitable displacements. We will see in figure how the float is placed and how it is converted into displacement. See, here is the figure. Here we can see one tank. Some liquid is there in a tank and one float is placed above the liquid level, and here we can see pivot, and a wiper is connected with pivot. So whenever the float is moving any side, at that time the wiper will rotate clockwise or anti-clockwise. So due to this, we can see here is a voltage potential divider. So it is directly converted into voltage. So first there are two methods are used. In a primary transducer there is a float, and float will convert liquid level into displacement. And another conversion takes place whenever this displacement is converted into the electrical voltage. So this way we can measure the level using resistive type method. So this displacement is changed by the secondary transducer such as resistive potentiometric device. So potentiometer is used as a secondary transducer in this case. The resistive potentiometer converts displacement into electrical signal. So it is used as a secondary transducer. So this is the principle behind resistive type level indicator. Now construction and working. The float begins to move as the liquid level changes, that we have seen, because float is directly placed above the liquid. The float displacement actuates the arm. Whenever there is a displacement in float, it will actuate arm of the potentiometer. It causes the slider to move over the resistive element of the potentiometer. So there is a slider, it means there is a movement in the resistive element of the potentiometer. So due to this, the circuit resistance is changes. This resistance change is directly proportional to the liquid level in the tank. So two conversions are there. One is from level to displacement and another one is from displacement to voltage. Now another method is fixed resistive type of level indicator. So this method is fixed type method. In this case we can see here is some liquid, and in this tube here we can see mercury, and in this tube we can see contact rods, and contact rod is connected with resistances. Here we can see different resistances. So contact rods are connected with these resistances, and resistances are connected to with the battery and ammeter, and ammeter will be calibrated to read height. It means we can read this height from this ammeter. So this is also indirect method of level measurement, and it is also a resistive type method. Now construction and working. A number of contact rods are placed at various levels that we have seen. Different resistors are there, different rods are deep in a tube. See, here we can see here are different types of rods are placed in this tube. Mercury is used as a conductor. So mercury we have already seen it is placed in a fill in a tube. So it is used as a conductor. As head H increases, the level of mercury rises above the datum. See here, whenever the liquid level is increases, at that time here is we can see the mercury is also, level of mercury is also increases. It results in sorting of successive resistors. So we have placed different resistors above this tube. So due to this, the successive resistors will be sorted. The ammeter reading increases. So whenever the resistors are sorted, the current is increases, and this current is measured with the use of ammeter. So ammeter reading is also increases. It indicates the value of H directly. It means the ammeter will indicate the value of height directly. So this is the way how we can measure level using fixed resistance type technique. Now advantages. Continuous record of level is possible with addition of contact rods. It means in this method we can use for continuous record because the rods are already permanently placed in a tube. Another advantage is uses low voltage to eliminate danger to the operators and to prevent arcing at the contact points. So here low voltage is used so that there is no issue of danger to the operators. So this is advantage. Another one is signal can be transmitted to any desired point. See, output signal is in terms of voltage. So voltage can be easily transmitted through wires at any desired points. Another advantage is it can be used in pressurized containers without packing glands or shafts. So it is also useful in pressurized containers because in some industries there are pressurized containers are there. For example, in a petrochemical industries or chemical industries, and it is simple to calibrate. We can easily calibrate this, so it is very simple. We can consider it as a advantage. Now disadvantages. What are the disadvantages are there? One is unsafe to use this transducer in explosive atmosphere due to arcing at the contact points. See, in explosive atmosphere, it means in a petrochemical industries or in a nuclear plant, there are some explosive atmosphere is there. So in this case, in this environment, we cannot use this transducer because at contact points there are arcing, and due to this arcing it is unsafe for operators and any other persons. So this is the disadvantage, or we can say it is a limitation. Another disadvantage is large number of contact rods are required. So weight, size, cost, all these things are increases due to large number of contact rods are required. Another one is the contact rods are corroded by corrosive liquids. See, if the liquid is corrosive, then contact rods are also corrosion is also take place in contact rods. So this is a disadvantage. Next one is difficulty in measurement arises when there is saturated vapor over liquid phase. So whenever there are saturated vapor or liquid phase is there, at that time the difficulty is there for measurement. Next one is any changes in the conductivity of the liquid causes serious errors. It means if the conductivity changes, conductivity of liquid is changes, so due to this so many errors are introduced in the system. So we can consider this as a disadvantage. Care must be taken for the handling of this type of transducers. Now applications. Used for indication and initiation of control actions. See, we can use in two ways. One is only indication. It means we can know only the level, and in some industries this is consequences, and the output of this level measurement is given to some control action. So in this case also there is a used for control action, because if the tank is full then we have to turn off the pump. So signal is given to the pump and pump will be turned off. So this is known as a control action. To calculate to actuate valve or pumps. Okay, so if the tank is full, then we have to close valve or turn off the valve. So it is also actuates using this control action, and we have already seen the pumps. If the pump if the tank is full, then we have to turn off the pump. This action is also completed using this control action. Then warning lights and alarm depending on level. See, there are different types of levels are there. So at some levels we can use the warning lights, red lights, or if the level is increases, then we can use alarm for this, so we can perform necessary actions for this level. So these are the applications of this type of transducer. Thank you.